Welcome to Gamebox Daily. I'm Dom.
And I'm Sippy.
Sad news for PlayStation fans as a recent article published on Monday reported that the PlayStation Store for Sony PlayStation 3, PlayStation Vita, and the PlayStation Portable will be closing for good in July and August.
The Gamer found out that an unknown source said PS3 and PSP stores will close on July 2nd, and the PS Vita storefront will shut down August 27th. For now, Vita and PS4 games are still available on the PlayStation Store app, however, still remain unavailable through the website since design changed back in October.
The main issue with the closure for the PS Vita is that a large majority of the platform's games come from indie developers, and for the most part are only sold online. Additionally, backwards compatibility is not supported for the PlayStation 3, and it's not supported on the PlayStation 4 and 5 in terms of backwards compatibility. So the question begs, what is going to happen to these old dogs?
Speaking of old dogs, one in particular turned 25 this week, Resident Evil, with big announcements such as Reverse's open beta, which will be in early April, as well as RE7 and Village coming to everyone's favorite platform, Stadia.
Only kidding, these aren't the big announcements, but for the actual announcement we will have to wait and see. Capcom have stated, "We've got more surprises for Resident Evil Village in store that you won't want to miss at Resident Evil Showcase, so keep an eye out for our social channels and be ready to mark your calendar, set an alarm on your phone and take the day off this April."
As for those waiting on Reverse, though, here's some important information. It'll be available for the PS5, Xbox Series X and S, on launch day. Next-gen consoles will play the PS4 and Xbox One versions of the game via backwards compatibility, and the open beta will last from April 8th at 2 a.m. Eastern Standard or April 7th, 11 p.m. Pacific Standard to April 11th, 2 a.m. Eastern Standard, April 10th, 11 p.m. Pacific Standard.
Well read. Finally, our last story tonight is from another classic game of the ages, Nier Automata, the action JRPG that garnered a cult following since its release. The story begins when players notice that the Xbox Game Pass version had some major differences to its Steam counterpart, meaning that if you're on the Xbox, you're going to have a much better playing experience.
Back in 2018, when the Gods Edition dropped on Xbox, it came with borderless video settings, fidelity, FX options, HDR, and 4K textures. This is the same edition that is currently on the Game Pass. However, if you're using the Steam version, you are stuck downloading enhancement mods just to achieve the same effect.
As you can imagine, the Steam users weren't happy, and the result have since been review bombing the Steam version, with now currently over 281 negative reviews about the game in an attempt to hopefully garner the attention of Square.
Currently, as it stands, nothing's been said by Square, and people are speculating that it's unlikely to gain any traction. Nonetheless, however, Nier remains an amazing experience and well worth picking up if you've not already tried it. Just remember those enhancement packs for the Steam version if you're not using the Game Pass one.
Okay, so a lot to digest here. I'm going to start off with the PlayStation, the Vita kind of closing away. Now, I never owned a Vita, and I always had I had a GameCube and a Dreamcast, so I can't really relate to the experience of the stores closing. However, I do think it's a damn shame, and I do think it highlights a problem as consoles get older. But I do know somewhere on a shelf in your living room you have a Vita, so how do you feel about it closing?
So, yes, I have a Vita. I think I have maybe 2 games for the damn thing. Both are physical. I don't think I have any downloaded games. My bigger concern would be like the availability of those previously purchased games on your account. Like, I don't need the storefront. I just need to be able to look at my library because I'm pretty sure I have a bunch of Vita games from when I was a PlayStation Plus subscriber that I probably want to play eventually. Maybe, probably not though, if I'm being real. Big concern. So that's one concern. The other concern is that of the historical aspect and curating those games for future generations for people who won't be able to otherwise play it. So converting that into a way that is still functional elsewhere. But that's just like the game historian in me speaking more than anything else. Is like, I want to make sure that my kid will be able to look at these games just as I looked at these games once upon a time ago.
So, I mean, we've seen this a lot in the announcement trailers that we've been covering recently. I don't think these games are going to go away anytime soon. I think a lot of franchises, console owning companies realize that any kind of assets they have lying around, they can bundle up, they can sell as a package, they can emulate, etc., and make money off it. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see like enhanced versions of PS3 games, or just emulated with a big old bundle, and they come back for us to buy at some later date.
Oh yeah, I mean that's totally a realistic thing. It is a little sad to see PlayStation just outright abandoning their handheld market. While I was never really a hardcore handheld gamer.
Yeah.
On PlayStation, I did at one point own a PSP. I also currently own a Vita. I think they're not terrible little handhelds. It's just a matter of not having a whole lot of games. But I guess like now, I can literally put remote play on my phone. So maybe that's just the thing is like you can play a PS4 game on your phone if you have remote play and are on the same Wi-Fi. So why bother with actual handhelds? I don't know.
I mean, it's very true. And your handheld is probably more powerful than a Vita anyway. So
yeah,
that's the sign of the times. All right, let's move on to our second story that we covered this week, and that is that Resident Evil is turning 25. Not only does it make me feel very, very old right now, but lots of big announcements coming out with that. We see Reverse already with the open beta, and more surprisingly, they shared this as an actual announcement. It was like Resident Evil 7 and Village by Everyone coming to Stadia. Stadia, yes. And I thought it was like one of those inside jokes, just like, we're raising a dead platform and playing Resident Evil on it, a zombie game on a zombie platform. Wait, no.
Yeah. No, I'm with you there. So, like, Stadia just they shuttered their own games department, so now they're just because the tech isn't terrible, and it's actually pretty cool that you can do. I just don't see the usefulness of putting anything new on there anymore, because like once they shuttered their own games department, it basically puts a ticking time bomb on Stadia as a whole. This is what Google does with Google projects. So my assumption would be that it doesn't hurt Capcom in the least to offer the possibility of making more money on one additional platform.
Yeah,
if nobody buys it, nobody buys it. If people do buy it and then Stadia gets shuttered entirely, they have to rebuy it.
Yeah, I expect that they didn't actually have to do the port either, and Google have probably paid them a little bit of money to have them like actually have it on Stadia. But I'm surprised when I see and hear things like this. Does it make me want to play Stadia? Nope. Does it make you want to play Stadia? Nope.
No, I still apparently have a $10 credit with Stadia.
Oh, goodness me. Get a refund. But yeah, so they say they've got some more surprises in the works. I really feel that the showcase we're going to see a trailer of the new Resident Evil movie. We're going to see an announcement of Resident Evil Village gameplay. They'll be delivering more bits and pieces of that. I think they probably would do a cosplay like competition or something because of the recent, like love of all the new characters. Or at least that's my inside theory. And what's the other one? So the demo, the beta, and the movie. Yeah, those are the three. And maybe an announcement. Going in line with trends that we've watched. Maybe an announcement of another remaster.
maybe. I would hope that they also take just a. I'm sure that they're already planning this. Maybe they think that a handful of posts on their social media is enough. But one of the actresses from Village passed not that long ago, so just taking a moment for that would probably look good. But it's one of those things that, like, does a corporation really give a shit?
Yeah.
Or are they just trying to look good?
I mean, absolutely. And what a terrible thing that was, and thoughts and feelings, obviously, to their family. Yeah, and interestingly enough, it looks like Capcom are going to pay for our days off by that announcement is there. It said, take the day off this April. So if anyone knows the address to forward for the invoice, let me and Sippy know. Sippy would really like it. Yeah. He can take an extra day off from my day off. There you go. He can have 2 days off. There we have it. All right. Last but not least, this is another review bombing. Yes, another review bombing. Nier Automata. Sippy, you've played Nier Automata. Is this a big hoo-ha? Are they just blowing smoke out their ass?
So, I didn't have many issues with the game. I played the PC version, but there are a ton of caveats to this. First and foremost, while I played the PC version, I, out the gate, had expectations of my system not being able to handle it because I have an older card. So I knocked all of my settings down low, which means that a lot of the issues that people have when they try to play this incredibly beautiful and with amazing effects that happen all the fucking time and all over the place, they wanted to run it at the highest settings, and they couldn't handle it. Do I think that this is an appropriate use of review bombing? Actually, yes, because this was something that review bombing got updates to the game when it first released. Things like language packs got added at release, but the graphical issues didn't really get addressed. And this As the Gods or Become as Gods, whatever version that I can now play on Game Pass, is kind of a slap in the face to all of the long-standing fans of this game. Also, how are there still people playing this game? I asked that, and I only beat it like a year and a half ago.
I have an inside theory that they're doing something really scummy, that they're going to be releasing another version of Nier Automata bundled with the other Nier that recently came out. It's going to have all the patches and fixes for it, and it's going to be called something like Nier Automata Super Godlike, Ultra Edition, HD Remastered, and and they're going to earn a little bit of side money, and then they're sneaking a sneaky patch to fix the other versions.
So you're not incredibly far off. Just that the titling would probably be something more like Nier Automata +1.77 blah 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 numbers, because all of their updates to these things and all of the like re-releases for the Nier series anyway has to have like these ridiculous version but binary bullshit at the end or hexadecimal bullshit at the end that's just like, we get it.
Yeah.
It's a joke. I understand, but it's a bad joke, and please stop.
Oh, the irony when your patch is your title. All right. Well, there we have it. There is our 3 big stories this week. And if you have any information, news, or bits and pieces you would like to share with us in the comments, then please do. As always, we'll be back in the week with more news and sweet, sweet little reviews and demos and previews for you to have a look at. But until then, bye-bye.
Bye.
Like and hit the bell.
Like, subscribe.